let's say you come to the women's networking, which you never do. If you were to come, that's a smaller group usually. It wouldn't be weird for you to say, "Oh, it's so good to see you again." That's not strange. Right. But in the larger rooms where there's now, you don't see as many giant rooms anymore. Right. Anyway.
So you're saying it's okay to touch in the small women's networking room, but it's not okay to touch in the large.
It doesn't sound as good when you rephrase it.
So Omar,
this is why we're no longer allowed there.
Exactly. Welcome to the Remix, the video podcast that keeps you in the mix of everything real estate. I am Noelle Frieson and
I'm Eric Anderson, and again, welcome to the Remix. We're very excited to be here today.
Yes, we are going to be talking about something that I hate. I loathe it. It is the most horrible thing in the world. It is networking and connecting.
Ooh, connecting, but we need networking and connecting. Otherwise, you don't get to where you need to be.
You do, but okay.
No, you don't.
Listen, I am the shyest person in the world. Believe it or not, guys, I am shy.
No, she's not.
But when I walk into a room with a bunch of people that I don't know, I just want to find my crew, my team, just to be with and like people watch maybe. But I have no idea what to say to the person I don't know. I may not even care about them. Like, I don't care about their lives.
It's totally,
I wouldn't lead with that.
Yeah, right?
So networking is tough, but we're very excited to talk about who our guest is here today. So why don't you introduce our panel, Noelle?
Okay, our power panel. You guys know the power panel. First, we have Adam Sperber from where?
I'm in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico.
Ooh, show us the waves, Adam.
Like, what's going on
Let's
in
see,
Puerto Vallarta?
What's going on?
Wow.
Look at that.
Oh, I'm so jealous.
I think we should be doing the podcast from
Yeah, we're coming over.
Yeah, right?
I'm surprised you guys didn't join me.
So Adam is
Anytime.
taking some time out and from his busy schedule of laying out and drinking margaritas.
It's a rough life.
It is. And he's joining us via...
Whatever.
Yeah.
I see you wore your very festive shirt for today, so thank you.
I couldn't find a sombrero in time. I
right.
really tried, though.
Adam is our residential guru. He can tell you anything you need to know about residential real estate. He is the VP at Alexander Anderson Real Estate Group, VP of Residential. And then, of course, we have our flipping expert, our investing expert, our all-around money man, and very handsome guy, Omar Sharif. He is the VP of Alexander Anderson Capital Group. And where did you just get back from?
Dominican Republic.
God,
Also nice.
not
Sunshine.
fair.
Sunshine and beaches.
And then
I'm just wondering why I didn't get that type of introduction. You called him handsome. I'm just in Mexico.
because you're married and we're trying to get him married.
Great answer,
That's
Noelle.
right.
What an answer.
There you go. And then
We're taking bids, ladies.
last but certainly not least, we have a special guest, someone that Eric has known forever, I have known for almost ever, and is just the most brilliant and amazing woman who just knows everything about connecting people. We have Lauren Zisa. And Lauren...
Oh, you gotta add her last name. Wait, what are we
Zisa.
calling you now?
Well, my married name is Samolka. But
Samolka.
for this kind of thing, Zisa.
Zisa. Lauren Zisa. And Lauren, I want you, because you have a amazing past of connecting people in different ways, in different mediums. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I know lots of people hate networking, but I started my first business almost solely through networking.
And what was that?
My first business was the local newspaper here. And of course, I was super young.
Remember,
a
I
little
wrote for
younger.
you?
Yeah, a few years ago.
Yeah, I wrote for you. I was like one of her man on the scene.
Yes. We weren't married, didn't have children. Things were a little different then. It was fun.
Lauren started a newspaper from scratch in one of our large cities in Bergen County, New Jersey. So
Yes. It was
Very
interesting.
exciting.
And of course, I was 23. I didn't really know what I was doing. So I had to find writers and photographers and advertisers. And that's how I did it. I did it by meeting people every single day, sometimes all day.
And
Yeah.
what are you doing now? Because you are very prominent. Everyone knows you.
I love this. I'm brilliant and prominent. I want to do this every week.
You can do that.
So I do a bunch of things. I still have a PR business, which is generally political, which is, of course, connecting people all the time.
Yeah.
And then I run chambers of commerce. So my days are running events, introducing people, whether it be to other business people or to the government or whoever they need to meet.
And that's exciting because chambers of commerce is one of the biggest ways to network today. So we're definitely going to talk about that during today's show.
Yes.
All right.
Awesome. So let's
Let's
get started. So networking. Give us the top 3 ways that come to your mind. Okay. The top 3 things you should do when you walk into a room and you know nobody. What are the top 3 things you do?
Put a smile on your face.
Okay, I can do that.
Okay, so I remember this is such a funny thing because it's not a business thing, but it's something to remember. So if you were young and not married and all that, and in a bar and you have a happy face on or you have a crabby face on, the chances of somebody walking up to you and talking to you when you have a happy face on are much, much higher.
True.
And I remember this from being with my girlfriends at bars. True story. But if you look like you want to be there, then they're much more likely to talk to you.
Okay, so I'm putting on my happy
You want to
face
put on your happy face. Really, 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 really
to
important.
get that drink. Got it.
So
Right?
this is really
Yeah, so obviously we're not at a bar, but it's the same premise, right? If you look happy, if you look like you want to be there, then you're way more approachable.
Okay.
Okay, so that's the first thing. The second thing is you have to dress the part. I know that people are not getting dressed up anymore, but if you work in a print shop and you wear a polo with your print shop logo and jeans, that makes sense. If you're a financial guy and you walk in wearing jeans and a dirty t-shirt, they're probably not likely to work with you.
Right. You don't want to give your money to someone like that.
That's right. Dress the part. You don't have to be wearing like a full suit or a tux or anything crazy, but you do need to look the part. So whatever business you're in, look good. You know, don't be messy.
I don't wear suits anymore.
A lot of people don't.
Yeah.
And so you don't have to. It's pretty
But
rare.
you don't like look slovenly. I've never
Yeah,
seen
but
you
you're
look
dressing the
slovenly.
part.
You
Yeah.
have to. Yeah, you still, I mean, you always look good. You don't look like a mess.
you.
If
Right.
you did, I would tell you.
Thank you.
And what's the third thing?
I don't know. I didn't know there were 3 things. I guess
What do you do? What is your like? So you
Well,
smile.
how do you start?
You care about how you dress, and like how do you
Okay,
like
so-
go up to somebody? Like tell us. What
so.
do
You just have to. I think the third thing is probably just to be prepared with who you are and what it is that you're selling. So everybody should have like a
Elevator
30-second elevator, and it doesn't have to be like get really into like you could say I'm an expert in flipping and I work for Alexander Anderson and Hackensack, and that could be all of it. You just have to know what to say. It's even better if you have something catchy. One of my businesses is a printer, not my businesses, sorry. One of the businesses I work with is a printer, and his line is "We print everything but money."
That's cute.
It's perfect, and people remember it.
Yeah.
And
So
for the
if
right
you
price.
have something cute, for the right price, right? If you have something cute about the business, that's better.
Okay.
And then after that, you just have to like let go of the fact that you don't want to be there.
Yeah,
just
but
have
okay,
to-
but I feel as though networking is so insincere, right? So I'm going up to you, I'm talking to you because I want to figure out how I can use you.
You're right. What I can get from you.
What I can get from you. So how do I get over that?
Okay, so that depends on what kind of event you're at.
True.
That's
And
the
I
whole
think
thing.
The key that you just said, which I'm gonna hit the buzzer on,
I got buzzard.
is use you, right? So
Right.
one of the reasons I'm so successful in relationship building and networking is I truly actually want to get to know everybody. So even though I want to use Noelle for her brain, first I really want to know who she is, and I want to be friendly and say, hey, how are you? Nice to meet you, whatever. So when I do that, that genuine flavor comes out.
Right.
It's not like the user part. Like,
So that's why I said it depends on where you are. So there are giant events with hundreds of people, and they just like throw their business cards at each other. Okay, so you're not going to get any business that way.
Right.
Doesn't matter what you're selling. That is not going to work. Really, it's all about relationship building. So for my chambers and things like that, we run different kinds of events. And when I started the business, I went to different kinds of events. So if you're just starting, you just got your real estate license, and you're trying to figure out, how to meet people, it's a really slow roll, and you have to be okay with that. You're going to meet people slowly, and what happens is when you build that real relationship, then they want to refer to you. Now, you don't have to go out with them at night. Like, you don't have to be their best friend, but they're going to say, you know what, I met someone who seemed really sincere, and I think they can help you.
okay.
That's a whole different way of me. And so I know I talk about chambers a lot, but I kind of do that a lot.
Right.
So I have groups that are giant, and there's hundreds of people, and I hate them. but it works for somebody, I guess. But then I have groups like my women's networking group. They're smaller.
Which I should come to, because
Yes,
sometimes you have them here.
they're here. You just have to walk upstairs. But
So
they're
you
more,
hate the big monster
Yeah.
events. You like the
where
more
people are
intimate
throwing
events.
things at each
Got
other.
it.
Yeah. And also, so here's the other thing. So there's the networking that I do, right? I make a living at it. But there's also the networking that you do every day. So you're with your friends. You're having dinner. And
With people that I've literally known since I
Hey,
was 5
how
years
are
old.
you?
Right,
Having dinner.
right,
Have a
exactly.
drink.
Yeah. Oh,
Wrong
this
cup.
one?
There you go.
All right.
Cheers.
Yeah,
Take a sip.
Oh.
Let's see it. It burns.
It burns a little bit. This is not my normal lunchtime. Anyway, so you're actually networking with your people, like at dinner, at the bar, when you're
Right.
having cocktails for happy hour. And so don't forget to say, oh, I started this really cool project at work.
Right.
Or maybe you guys have done this before. And then all of a sudden your friends who think about, hanging out with you on the weekends, now they're thinking, oh, wait, Noelle needed help with a marketing person. I have somebody really good for her.
Right.
So those people really trust you. They already love you, right?
Right.
So they're actually your first network. That's that's probably.
So don't be afraid to look what's around you.
Yeah. Now, and I'm
Okay.
not saying like sell to your mother, right? That sounds like kind of screwed up. That's like those pyramid things. That's not really what I mean. But they already know and trust you. So they're definitely your first. They're your first level of how to get to, and maybe they're not your customer, but maybe their cousin is.
Right.
Like,
So how does someone who's quiet and shy
Like
and-
me.
and
I'm so worried about her.
quiet,
Buzzer, please.
Yeah.
so we said quiet,
That's from
shy.
Mexico.
Hold on, quiet, shy, and Noelle described him as handsome.
This one.
So how would you advise Omar to go out there and
So-
meet and network?
Wait, we're trying to get him married, or we're trying to get him business?
Business.
Two different
This
things.
is all about
One and the same.
business.
But
All
before
of the
you
above.
answer that, I think there's a difference between being shy and being extroverted, right? So I don't
Yeah.
necessarily consider
You mean
myself
introvert.
shy, introverted.
Yeah.
Introvert, yeah. So I'm not necessarily shy. I'm just not Mr. Outgoing or Mr. Extroverted. So
What?
I think there's a big difference between the two, and it's hard to believe.
So how
That's
do
why
you,
we sit you over there.
yeah,
and
I
we're
know.
over here.
I figured that.
How do you when you go out, and especially for finding deals? So you're looking
Okay.
for specific people to do specific things. What do you start with, Omar?
I also don't like networking events overall. So I'm on the same page. But if I was to attend one, I would go with a purpose. I wouldn't just show up for no reason. And then I would ask myself, what is it that I'm looking to get over here, and what can I offer? So if I know someone, if I need financing, and I know there's a finance guy there, it's a very straightforward, easy conversation. This is what I need. This is what you offer. Do we get along enough to work together?
How do you find the financing guy?
Oh, so I
Go
got
for it.
you.
Okay.
Okay.
You for the first, actually, those three things, I missed one. You got to go meet the person running the event.
Ah.
You have to make friends with that person. Because if I know
That's
you,
why we're friends.
That's
We run all the
right. So if I know you, can say, Lauren, I really need to meet a financing person today. I'll say, hold on, there's three here. This is what, because I know them, right? I'm likely to know the people very well. Same with the other people that run events like this. If they're good at what they do, which likely they are, then they can tell you who in the
Yeah.
room you should talk to.
Good point. I never even thought of that. So befriend the organizer.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. So what else? Introvert.
Well, Noelle made a good point. You like to go in and kind of just give a message to a crowd, and you're comfortable with
I
that.
love that.
So I would actually be the opposite, because I'd rather find one or two people and have a conversation on the side, right? And then see how many commonalities we can come up with. So it really depends. I would go into a networking event with a purpose, and then find people who I could, who I'm looking for.
So you're more like search out and destroy your victim.
In some ways, but it's like, well, let's take an example. If we're going to a networking event, it's a real estate networking event, let's assume. Why am I going there to begin with? I'm not just going to show up. So if I'm going there to meet people who are looking to sell properties, I'm going to speak to everyone in there who's selling properties. And it's not so much, I'm using this person, it's a mutual, they're looking for me, I'm looking for them. That's how I would take it. So for me, it's very easy to navigate the room, but now if you put me in front of someone who's doing things I have no interest in,
Yeah.
You're out.
I'm out. I won't stay.
So that's where that sincerity comes into place.
How so?
Because if someone thinks that you're just there for the steak and potatoes, then they're not going to put you in, like Lauren said, they're not going to remember, oh, how do I help Omar?
Right.
That's why you have to build that
So
relationship.
then I would, let's
Yeah.
just say you meet the financing people and you're still there and you haven't left yet. So now you're in front of somebody you probably can't do business with. So
Okay.
then what you do is you say, so tell me about your business. How can I help you?
Okay. Yeah.
I can do that. I would
You
love to
can
do
totally do that. Let them talk, especially if you don't really want to. Let them talk. So now you're invested in what they do, and maybe you still can't. You say, listen, it was really nice to meet you. I don't know that we could work together, but you never know.
Yeah.
And then you just leave it like that. But I would
You
always
walk away
find
from
out.
how do you do that? Okay, God, I always see someone over there. Sorry, excuse me.
Sometimes I have to go get a drink. I don't know. Sometimes
Okay.
you just have to say, it was so nice to meet you. I'm going to go talk to other people.
I have to pee.
I know it sounds
I have to
crazy. You could do that, but I mean, they're also there to meet people. If you both
Right.
can't
Yeah.
do business, you can say, it was really nice to meet you, but let's go join that group over there.
Oh.
So Adam,
We'll go
how do you get out of a situation when you're talking and you want to like move past it to get to the next?
I'm getting a phone call. I'll be right back.
Yeah, you can do that.
Oh, just now?
Oh no!
I
believed
yeah,
it.
Wait a second.
That was good, Adam. That was good.
No, you could do something like that. I mean, obviously, you're trying not to be rude. You're trying to be as respectful as possible. But sometimes you can say, "All right, it was great meeting you. I look forward to talking with you later. I'm just going to go check in with so and so that just walked in the room." Something like that.
Right. Or you could say, you know what, I'm looking to meet the bankers today. I'm going to go see if there are more bankers in the room or something. Like, you can just say, this is my mission today. That's
Got it.
okay.
Okay.
You can say that. Also, if you're going to a real networking event, everybody there is there for the same purpose.
Yeah.
So for you to say, listen, I'm really sorry, I don't think we're going to be able to connect, but it was nice meeting you, they're not going to be like, oh no. They understand.
Right, because
So-
they're there for the same reason.
And they don't want to waste their time either.
Nope, absolutely not.
But I've been to so many networking events.
Usually
that
because I
are-
make you go.
that you that you asked me to join, and not all the people there are there for networking. Some of them are there for partying. How do you figure out who's there for partying and who's there for networking?
Well, I think it's all about the
And
events
it's
that you
okay
pick.
to have a drinky poo.
I think you need a drinky poo right now. But I'm good.
I'm like, is it okay though? I mean, is
I'm
it
opening
okay?
the mini bar right here.
So smart.
It's literally right here. I chose this spot on purpose.
Oh God.
That's so smart. I love it. So 100%, yes, it's okay to have a drink. As a matter of fact, almost all my events have a drink.
Okay.
Because the fact is, if you have to go out, right? We all have to do this in some way. So I want to make you happy doing it. I don't think you should have 6.
Right.
So what would you say
But
is like
one
the
or two
drink
was
cutoff?
okay.
1 or 2
I think
drinks?
1 or 2
Two.
is fine.
Okay.
I do. I mean, I don't want to encourage like drinking and then leaving my event. So I don't know what to do with that. But obviously, watch yourself. Be careful.
Have food.
And
right.
if you can't, right? And if you can't handle your drinks, like don't.
then don't drink.
You don't want to sound dopey.
Right.
Right. So I mean, do what you're used to.
So the drink helps
like have
just
shots to make yourself
relax you
comfortable.
or to
Yeah.
give you something.
And also some
Comfortable.
Something to hold.
Yeah,
It's
something
much
to
easier
hold.
when you have something to hold.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if you're not a drinker and everybody else is, like I would
Get
often
seltzer, get ginger
you get
ale.
seltzer. Yeah.
Something
So-
that looks like you have a vodka drink or a whiskey
Right.
drink. Ooh.
And then you have something in your hands.
Right.
That's all. I
Got
think
it.
that's good.
So go to the bartender and be like, look, here's $5. Whenever I
It's
ask for
also-
a drink, give me a seltzer.
Right. If I ask
mean,
for a
I've done
vodka
that.
tonic, I really want a seltzer.
I want a
That's a
seltzer.
good idea.
I've had people buy me drinks and I look at the bartender and I'm like, no. We're done.
so,
They know what to do.
Adam,
Yes.
tell me what type of people, because I mean, we speak to real estate agents. You are a real estate agent. I want to know what type of people are you always looking forward to networking to? And then I want you to tell me a little bit about networking with agents specifically.
Got it. So, I mean, all right. So I enjoy, at pretty much every client that I've sold a house to, for the most part, we become friends of some sort. I text them. I'm like, hey, I'm in your area. We talk randomly, whatever it is. So that's, when you're like, I consider it networking on that end because you're networking with these people. And then I just got a referral the other day from somebody, and it was somebody I sold a house to that I just met a few months ago. So you're constantly you're not asking them for referrals, but you're asking them for the referrals at the same time. You're not straight up saying, hey, if you know anybody else looking, hint, hint. You're just kind of throwing it out there and saying, look, if you know any, if you have any friends that are looking to move to the area, just feel free to give them my number, just something casual. But, when it comes to like on the residential end, every single person needs to buy or sell or rent. Every person, unless they're living on the streets, they need a place to live. So every person is in need of your services at some point. And it could be commercial too.
Yeah.
You never know. I've had people that transition from residential to commercial, and I've worked with them on both aspects. So you just need to be prepared and just be there at the right time and ask the right questions. But it's all about building up the relationship as friends, in my opinion.
Now,
Adam,
I'll say that you just had a birthday party for your adorable little boy, and everyone there, I think you had sold a house or you were selling a house to, right? Like,
and I'm friends with them.
Right.
Friends with them. I have another one coming up. The next day I went to one for somebody I sold a house to, their daughter, who's the same age, pretty much the same age as my son. Somebody else, we went to one maybe about 2 weeks ago. So it's just about staying in touch with these people and getting in front of them. And it's on the friend. I like them though. I'm friends with them. They have kids my son's age. It's perfect. It's the perfect storm. But don't be afraid to, like I have a client that I'm working with in the city and he's buying stuff out in New Jersey. But, I told him, I was like, when I'm in the city, let's, I'll bring my wife, you bring your wife, let's go out and grab a few drinks. Because I want to get to know him on a personal level, not only business.
Good.
Yeah.
All right, so let's switch this up.
Just for the record, there was an awesome, if you ever watched The Office, I don't know if you've ever seen The Office.
Yes.
There was an amazing episode that highlights, like, it's sales, but it's like also networking at the same time. He was trying to sell somebody, obviously paper, and Jan was going at it, his ex-girlfriend or girlfriend or whatever it is, and she was pretty much trying to sell hard, and Michael pretty much just told her, shh, be quiet for a second, and he just built up the relationship over drinks for the next few hours at the restaurant, and he got their business. And it was all about going about it like not in a salesy way, more as a friend.
There you go. So let's switch this up a bit. Let's talk about networking horror stories. Okay.
Yeah.
So I have a couple really cool ones, and I can tell you how I've learned how to deal with them.
Okay, I need to know about this because it's all hard to me. But go ahead.
But I don't know. Should I go first?
Yeah.
Okay.
You have a good one. Honestly.
So
Yeah.
I just turned 100 last week. So
21.
Yeah.
And
so
that was also another event that had a ton of people to network with.
they were network, but that was my core group. That wasn't one of my networking events.
It was
that
like hundreds
really
of core.
Important people. Really important people that were at my networking / 50th birthday party. Some people were too preoccupied with other things. We're going to not tell you who they are.
I was there.
Everybody
No
on this
names.
side of the table.
We might have been in sunny
Wait.
places.
And Adam was
places.
there.
There you go.
With
Adam
his
was
beautiful
there.
wife.
So, but in any event, networking horror stories. So what you have to learn is how to react to different scenarios. And sometimes you're going to see people over and over and over again. So networking doesn't just mean we're meeting for the first time today. You could actually meet somebody that's in your circle and you have to build a rapport with them. You don't have to do that on day one. The trick is learning how to set the stage moving forward. So I'm going to give you the horror story, and then I'm going to tell you how I worked through it. So it was real estate related. It was a big municipal or citywide event, and I was dealing with some real estate people that were pretty high level. And this is when I was probably 25 to 30, so I was young and stupid. And this one guy called me out of nowhere, and he was like, "Oh, I really like what you're doing in the town. I'd like to," he's like, "I'd like to partner with you." So all of a sudden I'm like, here's this guy I've never met, I've never talked to in my entire life, and he wants to partner with me. I'm like, this is strange. I'm like, what the hell's going on? So as I started to get more involved, and I met this person at a couple networking events, he would talk to me, and what I would find out is in the room when I would go, I would go up and I would say hi to him, and he'd look at me and sometimes shake my hand, sometimes say hi, and then within 3 seconds he would notice that someone more important came in the room. Okay? And I'm like, okay. So as soon as he noticed that, he literally just we could be in mid-handshake, and his hand just went limp and he was out of there. And I felt like such an a-hole because here I am so excited to meet this person, and he ditched me. All right? So, I want to hear how people deal with stuff like that, but I'm going to tell you how I dealt with it. So I said, after probably 5 or 6 times of having this happen to me, because I didn't know, is it just me? Is it him? Whatever. Once I realized that this was just him and he did this to everybody, I just ignored him. So my new motive was whenever I went to an event and I saw this guy there, I wouldn't go say hello to him. I would go nowhere near him. Okay, and after I did that for 3 or 4 events, guess what happened? He started to come to me.
You played hard to get.
Okay, I didn't know. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know if it was going to work or not. But let me tell you, it was friggin' amazing. And that first time when he came over to me, I was kind of euphoric, and I was like, "Is something? What's going on here?" And still to this day, I don't go say hi to this person to this day. And this guy
Was
is
he
an
at
older.
your birthday party?
No. He's
Okay.
a business relationship.
Okay.
But it's just
I want to know who it is.
Yeah, I'm dying to-
so both of you know.
I
who
was
it is.
guessing that.
But it's crazy stuff. So that was just an example of how I self-taught. And sometimes you have to play with these things and teach yourself, like, let me try it this way, let me try it that way. You don't have to get it right the first time. The trick is just trying and learning and moderating or monitoring how your cause and effect and what happens. So give us a horror story.
I mean, there's so many.
And Omar, you're going to have to give us one too. So start thinking.
Let me, you know, I was
When you're
already
on the
thinking
spot,
about it.
yep.
I know. Yeah, right. They don't tell us they're going to do that. So one of the things, it's not a specific person, but it happens all the time. So I told you to get a drink, right?
Right.
But the problem is you're holding your drink in front of you. And this person who you don't know is spitting at you.
Oh.
Yeah, gross. So you'll see at something I often am holding my drink like this.
Okay, that's
Because, and
Well,
that
you're
sounds like
protecting the
crazy.
spit cover.
But yeah, I literally
Give
like
it a sippy
hold
cup.
it with my, right? You do. So I have had that happen, and then I just, will casually put my drink down and take a step back. Yeah.
Spitting.
Pretty gross.
That's gross.
What do you
It's gross.
What do you do if someone is a little offensive like that? Like other offenses?
I'll be quicker to say it was so nice to meet you, and I'll.
Or how do you deal with the guy that goes like this? Hey, how are you?
Oh my gosh. So pre-COVID, people would do that all the time.
Right now, at least.
So it's kind of nice actually
Right.
that they don't like get super in your face until they know you.
The close
Yeah,
talkers.
that's right. Wow.
So how do you deal with a close? That's a good name, close talker.
It's from Seinfeld, I think.
Oh.
Yeah,
Either that or Friends, but go ahead.
something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you deal with a close talker?
I just probably step back, I think. I don't know what I do.
Until
That's
you're up
funny. I'm
against
like
the
this.
wall.
Yeah. It's like making me move back right now. I don't know what I do.
So that's a good point. So that brings up another scenario of body language. How do you recognize someone's body language?
Body language is huge.
And
It is, yeah.
while you're having that horror story, like, why aren't they getting?
Like they're
your
not
cues?
picking up that I'm moving back. Well, what's going to happen with that situation is that's not someone you're going to do business with. I mean, that's kind of what happened. So you have to sort of be aware of how you're interacting with other people, because this is like something I would say to my kids. Like, okay, so how did that make you feel?
Right.
Right? So if somebody's up in your
Personal
face,
space.
right, how
Right.
did that make you feel? Like, I want to draw a circle around
Right,
myself,
right.
So what you have to do is you're not going to talk to that person again. You're probably not going to do business with them. And if they can't, like, take a cue that you're stepping back, you need to excuse yourself.
Oh, they're definitely a person. I gotta go to the bathroom. Oh,
Excuse me.
I
Yeah.
gotta go. Yeah.
So how do you excuse yourself?
Sometimes just like that.
Okay.
I mean, if they're really like in your space, and I'm not even like funny like that, but some people really get right up in your
Oh,
face.
I'm so sorry. You know what? I gotta use the ladies' room
You're
really
touching me.
quickly. I touch. Is that a bad thing? I touch all the time.
Um,
I'll touch like this, but I
I do too, and I thought about that the
Yeah.
other day because
I'm
I
a
don't,
toucher.
I don't know if in one of these giant rooms that's
I mean, I personally like to be
necessarily-
touched.
I have absolutely no comment at all. Nothing appropriate.
So in the giant room.
In the giant rooms, I probably wouldn't touch anybody unless I knew them.
Okay.
Right now, like, but when so let's say you come to the women's networking, which you never do. If you were to come, that's a smaller group usually. It wouldn't be weird for you to say, "Oh, it's so good to see you again." That's not strange.
Right.
But in the larger rooms where there's now you don't see as many giant rooms anymore.
Right.
Anyway.
So you're saying it's okay to touch in the small women's networking room, but it's not okay to touch in
It
the
doesn't
larger
sound as
venue.
good when you rephrase
Okay.
it.
So Omar,
And this is why we're no longer allowed there.
Exactly.
so what's yours, Omar?
I've been thinking about it, but a nightmare story for networking events.
Just
aside
going.
aside from the quirks and things, yeah, you're right. So I don't normally go on a regular basis. I'll be
You
honest.
don't.
I don't.
But you have to network because you make all these deals. You have to find deals. You have to find people to buy into the find. I mean, where do you find people? What do you do?
I think the whole networking world has changed. Social media, just being online has changed so much. And then everyone knows someone who knows someone. And I tend to work off referrals. So there's very few things I need to go out and scout that I don't already have access to in some way, right?
Right.
Because you're established.
right.
That helps, yes.
I
But
mean,
even
when you're not established.
Right. So when I wasn't, I was going to these events. But there's a common pattern. Whoever's hosting the event, the host knows everybody. I know the host. And if I need someone or I need to work with someone, I don't think we're that far away from each other anymore. So it's very easy to connect with people and just pick up the phone and call them.
So, so how did you change your body language to open body language, like come talk to Omar, versus
I probably didn't. to
the
be honest.
anti-body language?
Omar's learned.
He was hiding.
Probably,
Right.
yeah. No, but I think a lot of people, I'll say introverts, generally have a challenge with that. So I recognize it, but doesn't keep me from getting things done. So, I mean, yeah, I'm not going to
You
be
force
perfect.
yourself.
Yeah. So there's things that
Find workarounds,
I
too.
adjust. If I notice that I'm not, doing what I'm supposed to, I adjust, but maybe not a permanent adjustment.
So body language, if you stand like this and you fold your arms, that says don't
Close
come
up.
talk to me,
Yeah.
Probably.
right?
Do you bring people with you? Like I always bring someone with me. Like even for your party. I was like, David, you must come with me because I was
But
like,
it was a fun party with guests.
it was an amazing party. I had it
You're supposed to bring a guest.
right, but I'm saying like I knew that there'd be people there I didn't know and that I'd have to make small talk, which freaks me out. It literally starts giving me like hives. And so I was like, you gotta come with me because you gotta be my person that when I'm done talking to the people that I know and like and have known forever, because there are a lot of people I've known forever, then you can save me from the people I don't know. Or help me like be
Right.
that extra person. You know what I mean?
So I think it's fine to bring someone. It'd be better though if they're in a different industry or a different business. So when I drive some of my people crazy, the bankers especially will all come as a group.
Right.
I say, oh, that's great that you're having dinner
Safety in
together.
numbers.
But that's not what you're here for. So if you're going to work the room together, fine. But if you're going to go and sit in a corner together, you didn't get the job done.
Right. It was more, again, like a party.
Right.
Okay.
And that's great if you want to go out for a party. But if you're looking to meet business people, you're going to need to talk to them, not talk to each other.
Good point.
So, but like if I was going to somewhere that I, really didn't know anybody or whatever, and I brought you, it would be easy for us because the two of us could talk about the two different industries and meet different people, and then
Be like, oh, I just met this person. You would be good. You'd be great for Lauren. Right?
exactly. And then also when you need to excuse yourself from a spitter or something, then you have somebody to say, like let's say we got separated now. Now we're doing our thing and we're trying to, excuse me, I just need to go talk to my friend again. And now you have someone else to retreat to, which I think is fantastic.
Adam, your
It's kind of
horror
like it's kind
story?
of like your wingman.
Yeah,
Yes.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your horror story, Adam?
I don't really like Omar. I haven't been to a lot of networking events themselves. Obviously, I network, one-on-one, and I like talking to people. I can start a conversation with I feel like I could start a conversation with a brick wall and keep it going for a while.
I would agree with that.
But yes, obviously, the close talkers and the people that sometimes you have to gauge the situation. Sometimes you'll be really close to somebody. And I've had it where, like you were saying, where they would essentially be, they're spitters and they're like 6 inches from your face. But, I think of things on the bigger picture sometimes. And I'm like, all right, sometimes you just got to go with the flow. What am I going to do? Make this guy feel awkward? If, if I make him feel awkward, I'm never going to end up doing any business with him or networking with him. Yes, I wish he wasn't spitting in my face right now, but.
That's a very good point. That's a very good
You
point.
have to kind of, because if you say to him, if you back up and they realize, wow, he's backing up for me right now, or he's making it awkward, then once again, he's going to feel awkward around you, or she's going to feel
Well, it
awkward
depends.
around
Were they
you
making
now.
you feel awkward? Then sometimes you got to back up. Maybe
was
they
that?
didn't. Maybe they didn't mean to, and then I agree. But sometimes they're making you feel awkward, and you have.
I agree. But sometimes I've talked to close stalkers close up, and sometimes they don't get the hint, and I'm not like throwing it at them. I'm not telling them, hey guy, just back up.
Right.
But sometimes I'm, I'll just let it happen because like I said, I just think of what could I like. Sometimes I have an ulterior motive, and my motive is to find a way to get business out of them, whether it's commercial or residential.
Right, and you got to suck it up, basically.
You got to suck it up. It is what it is.
You got to suck it up.
Well, I think one of the things that everybody needs to learn is never alienate anyone.
Yes.
Even that
True.
spitter,
Yes.
even that close person.
Right. That's
Never
that's
know.
a good point.
You never know.
Because I can tell you, and again, I never alienate anyone because I'm perfect, right? But I can tell you there's been a couple scenarios where I'm like, oh shit, that person who I just blew off is da 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 da
Right.
da da with
Right.
this person that I need.
Right.
Okay? So if you learn that early on, right? Like I'm sure you have a situation.
yes.
Give us one of them. Come on, tell us.
I was at a fundraiser one time where I was helping. It was my client's fundraiser, and somebody was super duper drunk, like crazy drunk, and I didn't know what to do with them because it was totally inappropriate. But they were close to the people. I didn't know what to do, and so we were sort of trying to corral him a little bit, and I end up, closing up the night and the whole thing, and I find out that my husband works for him.
Ah.
That's good blackmailing material, but
Right. So it was like a little bit like, oh boy, not directly and all that, but like in the line kind of. And I was like, oh my gosh, thank God that we weren't super nasty to that person.
Right.
And, and we handled it and all, but you just don't know who you're talking to. So to your point, you're right. You have to like work out the situation.
But now, post-pandemic or during pandemic, wherever we are now, right? We have online, social media, Zoom networking. Can we talk a little bit about how do you network on a Zoom? Like, is it possible?
Yes and no. Some people like it. I don't. But I also find that I'm getting old. Right. And so that's not how I do things. I do like everything that I'm good at is in person. I think that although over the last 2 years I did plenty of things online and on Zoom, I do not think it has the same effect. Now I have groups, I have young professionals groups and all that really like online, and they do it. But
kids are so cute.
That's kind of what I think when it's happening. I'm like, you guys are never going to work together. But listen, maybe I'm wrong and old. And
so you haven't been able to cross over that online into the real actual working relationships.
I do it for people, but it does not work for me. Other people think it does for them. And I think that people have gotten so used to working at home that some are not willing to leave. Or they just like can't figure out how to put into their schedules and things like that. So. But I think...
Or put on real clothes, right.
Right, you have to put on pants to go outside. Right. I know it's a problem. But so some people really do think it works. And I think maybe like you're talking about when it's industry specific with a mission, it may work. So maybe you're joining a group just for realtors or just for financing or whatever, and then you may be able to get something out of it. I don't know that you could do just sort of any networking that way. I don't think it works well.
So tell us how, like, if you needed to go out and start networking, where would be a great place to start? Like, okay, I just became...
too easy. Local Chamber of Commerce.
Of course.
Come on.
So if you were going to send me somewhere next week,
yes,
where would I be going?
To the women's networking on Wednesday.
Oh, really? On Wednesday?
Oh, yes, you're coming.
And don't forget, you can.
Can we send a camera crew to watch it?
Yes.
I want to see this.
100%.
And don't forget, you can touch in the women's networking group.
Oh my God.
Okay. Next Wednesday, where? Upstairs?
Next Wednesday at Panera in Englewood.
And Panera in Englewood.
For those New Jersey people, there's a women's networking group where you're allowed to touch other women.
Oh, God.
In a business-like fashion. In Panera, where is it?
Englewood.
This podcast may not be out by then. But anyway, for all of our live people.
All of our live people.
It's a great way.
Please come help me.
Obviously, Noelle needs a wingman.
I need a wingman.
Wing girl.
Who's going to be my wingman?
Email Noelle for details, and she'll hook you up with...
We're taking applications.
All right, so starting at the Chamber of Commerce, is that a good place to start?
I think it's generally, it depends on your area, right? Some don't even have them.
Right.
But if there is one, it's always a good place to start. To become a member of these organizations is usually very minimal.
Right.
So what's it going to cost you really? And it's just worth trying.
So what does it cost to join a chamber?
So about $200 a year.
$200
for a year.
For a whole year. That's not bad.
And
what do you get for that $200?
So you're listed on the website, you get access to the social media, all of those things. You have access to the members, and then there's lots of free events during the year. There's lots of paid events, but there's also lots of free events. So that way you have a little bit of everything. And then much like anything else, people refer to the other members. And people call the Chambers of Commerce, I'm looking for a realtor. Who do I call? So they call us, and then we only refer to members.
Right.
So, and that's not just me, of course. That just makes sense. Chambers are a little different than they used to be when they started, like in the 1930s. They were all very local specific. Now they're regional. So
well, you head up a regional chamber.
Yes, too. Right.
Too.
So
right.
So generally the chambers cover larger areas because you can't just do business in your town anymore.
Right.
But it still has the same idea. Then after that, you'll do some of the chamber things, and then if you're new in business, maybe you'll look for other types of groups. There are lots of different networking groups out there. There are these morning groups that are where around the table you'll have one person per industry, and they meet every week and they refer to each other every week. So
see, that would be better for me. If you give me something structured,
right,
or if you give me something where I have to make a spiel at some point, like to...
Right, your role.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, so you like to know what's expected.
Exactly.
Well, that's okay, right? So there's something literally for everyone. And then there are other industry-specific groups out there. I don't know them as well. We have industry-specific groups inside of the chambers, but then there's other ones also.
Right.
And so you just kind of have to see what works best for you.
A lot of people join NAR, National Association of Realtors, for the networking. Have you guys ever done networking through NAR?
No, not
Okay, I
But they
take that
do.
back.
But they do. When you become a residential agent, or you have to join a board of realtors, and
Right.
in joining the board of realtors, there's multiple that we're a member of, as a brokerage, for instance. But whichever one, they all have their own networking events. Obviously, a lot of these were pre-COVID, but now they're starting back up again. They have in-person networking events that you can attend.
Okay, so
they're
do you go to
included, and
any?
No.
He's at the beach.
I love that you guys decided
This
to do
is
a
my
networking
networking
podcast and you guys don't network.
I network.
Eric networks,
I network
yeah.
all the time, and I know Omar networks online.
I do.
On the line, you network on the line.
So
Tell
how do
us,
you network
How do you
online?
network on the line? And I know,
on
hold
the
on, I
line.
know that because he's always telling me all this stuff,
On the interweb.
and I'm like,
Yeah, so-
well, I don't see any of
the
it.
interweb.
I think there's two types of networking. I think I don't know if we covered the second part in depth yet, but if we're all realtors and we go to a realtor event, what are we really looking to network for, right? They're
Well,
all realtors.
no. I have learned from Adam that you need, as a realtor, you need to know other realtors to get
Agreed.
things done.
Agreed. Maybe recruit, form a team, know your associates, know the people in the industry. I get that, but you're not getting clients from there. So so the second part of networking is to get clients, and I think that's a different approach, right?
Okay.
So
Remember, Omar is extremely targeted.
Right.
I'm targeted, but at the same time, you mentioned being sincere or whatnot. I
Yes.
think that element comes with it as well. But in terms of networking online, everything is online these days. So it goes back to saying, what is it that I'm
But
looking
what
to
do you do? Where are you networking online? Give me an exact example.
So it depends
Where
on.
can I find Omar? Ladies.
I like that.
Back to real estate.
You could Google my name. Start with that. Facebook, Instagram. But
What do you do specifically?
all right. So from online, I think it's just made the world of connecting so much easier because everyone is connected. You're literally one or two people away from knowing whoever you need to know. But I would ask myself, what is it that you're looking to do? So let's give me an example of what type of.
I am looking to learn more about commercial real estate.
Correct.
What do I do?
There's commercial real estate groups on Facebook, on Reddit. You can follow commercial real estate accounts on any social media platform you're on. There's something available. And that leads to people who are in the business, and then it's up to you to figure out how you'll reach out to them.
So, are there groups there that are actually engaging with others, or is it just like you just go up and you start reading crap? Or
So I think the issue with online anything is that once everyone gets access to it, it just becomes watered down, and then all you have is a bunch of spam and whatnot. But within these groups, there's niche groups, and then there's
And they have rules.
They have
Like,
rules,
you
yeah.
know, if you join, Bergen County Moms Group, there's a rule that you don't talk about your business except for on Tuesdays
Right.
at such and such time.
so that's a network on its own right there, right? So I think these networks online are very easily accessible, but it's what are you looking to get out of them, and then how are you going to approach
So,
them?
which group do you find that you get the most out of?
Right
Or
now,
platform.
Yeah,
on which platform? So what I use most is if I want to learn something. So I'll connect to an online community. It doesn't have to be business specific, but if I want to learn something about camping, for example, it's very easy just to join a network with people who love doing
But
it.
what do you do? Reddit, Facebook, Instagram?
So
What do you
Reddit,
do?
I started using a lot more recently because Facebook, I think, is just going out. I use Reddit, I use Instagram. And then within these forums, you can ask questions and they get answered right away. Where else can you get that done, right?
Call me.
Yeah,
No,
right.
but you're right.
If
You're
you
right.
answer.
That when you go on, I mean, I use Facebook, but again, I'm old.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Right.
And you go on, you can ask a question in whatever group you're in, and someone will answer you back in the next 15 minutes.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, I don't do that. So what would I go to?
But are you
Reddit?
even on Facebook?
You
I
can
don't
do.
even know how to use
I haven't logged into Facebook in a couple of years.
I know.
Yeah, Facebook I don't use much either, just because it's too. I don't know.
I'll try Reddit.
Maybe I'm getting old too.
So you're saying that the social media or the networking needs can 100% be fulfilled all via online groups.
So I wouldn't say 100% because that personal connection is not there online, and you might meet someone you don't know how that person is in real life, or you may not even know who that person is. So I think depending on again what your reason is for networking, if you want to learn, I think online communities are amazing. If you want to connect with someone and go hiking, for example, you might not want to do it with a stranger. So
Got it.
there's a place for it online. It's
Okay.
not.
I have to say that when I was preparing for this, I was watching different things, and I saw a great tip that I thought would be good for a person like myself. It was if you are at a networking event, do like small, like you meet someone, do small videos, like go live and be like, hey, I'm at, the Hackensack Regional Chamber of Commerce and I'm here with Eric Anderson. Say hi, Eric. What do you do? And like that way, like I thought that was fun. And I was like, oh, I would do that because it gives me something to do.
You have a mission.
And then you like me because I'm promoting you, right? I'm asking
and
you.
And then everybody's watching you. Like, who's this crazy girl taking videos?
Which is fine though.
That
would be fine for me.
Now, that's comfortable for you to do.
That is so comfortable. Much more than having a conversation.
Are you saying
Right.
you couldn't
Meanwhile,
do that?
I'd rather have the conversation. I definitely don't want to do that. So
I could do that.
you both can.
Noelle and I
Yeah.
could do that.
Yeah, we could.
We'll do that together.
Yeah, so I'm surprised to hear that you don't like networking events, because if I had to guess, I thought
That's
you
what I would be
love
doing
it.
if I came. I'd be doing like little videos or being like, let's take a picture. Let me see your logo here. Like that would be much more because I don't have to have a meaningful conversation.
Got it.
Okay. So I definitely think that we're learning all the different styles, the different strategies. Having a purpose, having a way to cope is good.
right.
I know that I do much better networking when it's for business. When it's for a personal social networking, I kind of revert back to like high school and I'm like, oh my God. But, so
He says
I
that.
love
I don't
networking.
believe that either.
Yeah, no,
Eric,
it's
I've
true.
never seen him like that. But
But I love networking for business. So question, Lauren, how do you keep from getting overexcited? Like, when that puppy dog like loves you and just jumps all over you. And,
Okay, yeah.
How do you-
Overexcited at networking.
and I have a,
I know.
And I have a story for this, but I'm sure you see this all the time.
No,
What
I
about-
don't know what you mean. What do you mean overextended?
So like you have a networking event and all of a sudden there's like somebody who wants to change the world and they come busting in the doors and they start attacking everyone. What happens with that?
So sometimes the organizer needs to rein them back in. That happens. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And what happens is that's why like you have to be prepared, be calm, ask questions about the other person. You have to try to be as interested as possible because that person is just throwing business cards around the room. They're not actually doing any business. They're not creating any relationships. I mean, it's very rare that someone who's looking for business with a mission goes in there all crazy, like
That was me. That's why I'm
You
asking.
did?
I can see
Really?
that.
When I first started, I was that one that ran in and like was like, oh my God, there's the mayor. I need to go talk about my agenda. And it was like, I'm sitting there grabbing his like talk to me. And the guy's shaking his leg, like, get the hell away from me.
I have.
And that's
me.
when you hooked up with me, and I would help you do that a little bit.
Oh my God. So, but it was
Calmer.
it was a horror story for me because I couldn't figure out what I was doing wrong.
Right.
Why the people that I thought would want to talk to me about
Because
what
you're
I was.
overzealous.
But I didn't know that. I was just like full of energy and I was like,
Aw,
let's go.
that's sort of
Let's
cute,
go change the
right?
world.
He
Young
was
Eric.
like, see me.
Right. So what I learned is that now what I do is I take a step back, I go in, and I go to a corner and I read the room. I don't run, I don't commit, I just read the room, see what's going on. And what I've learned over the years is you have to go, and if there's somebody you really want to talk to, don't talk to them about anything related to business.
Okay.
Right, just
Oh my
get to
God,
meet
I
them.
love your necklace. Is that a locket? Like,
I
do
do
you have
that
a
a
picture
lot.
of your son
My
in there?
son gave it to me for Mother's Day. Thank you,
very
Brendan.
nice.
Right? So you go, and now we're relating, and then I'll bullshit with Noelle for 10 minutes about something, and I may not even bring up business. Go do a lap. Then I'll come back to her. So now Noelle is seeing me for the second time. Okay? And then
Now
I'll
you're
watch
someone I
her
know.
body language. Now she knows me.
Right.
Okay? And I may do that a third time, and then I come back. And then what happens more than not is once I'm around that person the third time, they ask me what I do.
Right. They're like, who
What
are
do
you,
you do?
Crazy Pants? Right.
Now you just asked me. Now I can go with my agenda because my agenda is what you asked about. Whereas if I went up to you and said, oh my God, Noelle, I need to talk to you about XYZ, you're going to be like, I just got here. I want to have a drink, or I'm with my cronies and I'm doing this and I'm
Right.
hanging out.
Well, that's why I would say to you, networking done really well is a slow roll. So maybe you don't get that third time with Noelle the first time, that first event, but you're not going to go to one event because one event's not going to make your career. You're going to have to go to multiple events and see these people. But once you start going to the women's group, you'll see a couple of the same women. And you can say, oh, it's so nice. It's so nice to see you. How was your trip?
Right. Exactly.
You were leaving the last time.
I
you
have
know?
something. I have something. Adam, Omar, Lauren, Eric, everyone who's live with us right here, everyone out there. This will be the summer that you guys get me networking. If it is within an hour of Hackensack, New Jersey, I will try and make it. You can email info@RE Career Center with your invitations. We will force me to
Omar
get
will
out
be
there.
happy to go with you to every event.
Adam,
You know-
if you have something, invite me. I'm going to go to the women's
I have
event.
plenty for you.
So I want everyone who watches this, please info@recareercenter.com. Invite me, and as long as it's not like something like
I think
conflict,
you could do an hour and a half.
An hour from I got to get back to my kid. My mom doesn't like to babysit as much. So, hour from Hackensack, New Jersey, in the city, in New Jersey, in Pennsylvania, I will go.
So you're basically
that's-
offering to be the +1 to all those people.
Right.
I will come to your
There you go.
networking event. I will do my little thing with my live videos.
I love that.
So that way I feel comfortable. Invite me, please.
Well, let me just say then, so you will go anywhere within an hour of here. Okay,
Right.
so also important, make this convenient for you. Don't make this hard. Find events that are local to
Oh,
you.
no, I don't wanna
that are
find
going to be
that you have to
easy.
give them to
No,
me,
but what
guys.
I'm saying is for other people,
Oh.
like, don't make it hard.
Right.
If many, many years ago, I would sign up for something and it would be too far, and I'd be like, you know what? I'm done. I'm going home.
Right.
That's going to happen. So make them somewhere you like to go at a time of day you like to go out. You know, maybe you like mornings, maybe you like nights, whatever it is, make it something you want to do.
I like drinks, so.
So you're
make
going to
it
be
one-
the 5:30 crowd. That's okay. That's
Do
okay.
they have networking events during lunch?
Sometimes yes, sometimes no.
Okay.
So I used to have some that worked really well. I've found right now they're harder. I think because it's happening to me, I think Zoom has made it so that we are like having meetings all day long.
Yeah.
And the last thing you can do is leave at lunchtime. But people did used to like them. So we may get back to them again. We've gotten back to so many others, we may get back to them again. But I did find it was hard to get people out.
Okay, so
But don't even just worry about going. Like in my opinion, like I said, I've really never been to a lot of networking events. You know, if you're sitting at the bar, Noelle, and I'm using you as an example, but if you're at the bar and you're sitting next to somebody, start up a conversation with them.
Oh my God, that
doesn't have
seems
to
so
be,
horrible to me.
It doesn't. But I mean, what's the worst that happens? You're probably never going to see this person.
Get
I get a
lost.
drink.
They say get lost.
Yeah,
they
what
say
if
get
they're
lost
like,
and you're back where you were today? Just
Right.
don't take it personally. But you sit next to them.
What if they
bring up,
reject
just
me?
start talking about whatever. And what I always do is I could be talking
They
to
could
anybody.
never.
I bring up real estate. I bring up something related to real estate, but not asking for business, because I just say, oh, they're investor, they're doing this or whatever it is. I always bring up something to do with real estate because I like real estate, and obviously that's what I do.
right.
And it always bridges it. And they're like, oh, so what do you do for a living? You're a realtor, blah, blah, blah. And then they end up asking me the question, just like Eric mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to them saying I'm a realtor, begging them for their business. I'm casually bringing it up, and you will get business that way. I've gotten business that way.
Okay.
Just from casually bringing it up. Here's an example. There's
So am
somebody
I
that
supposed
works-
to go to a bar tonight and just sit there?
You are. That's your homework. That's your homework. Go drink tonight.
Just sit there like,
Go at
who wants to talk to
lunchtime.
me? Go at lunchtime.
It doesn't have to be drinking. If for
No.
those of you who
No,
don't
it
drink,
certainly
be
doesn't have to
drinking.
you could go to a cigar bar and go smoke a cigar. You could go to a hookah bar, go smoke a
But
hookah.
I literally, one of the example I have is I have a dog. I go to a pet store in town. I go there to get dog. I used to go there to get dog food, and I was constantly just bringing up real estate with the person that worked there and the manager of the place, constantly talking about it, not asking for their business, but just talking. Oh, I'm working on this and doing this. Just every time I went in there to buy a bag of dog food, they ended up using me to find a condo.
Really?
Some stranger, literally a stranger that I
So
met.
Adam
I
is
just
taking
kept
it to
going
an
there.
extreme, but if it works,
But if it's working and it's making him money, it's making
I mean,
him
I was
money.
But
there. I was there anyway.
And it's the people you're with.
Her.
yeah,
Absolutely.
there you go.
I haven't done my spiel. Guys, subscribe. You can subscribe on YouTube. You can subscribe on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, all the podcasts. Subscribe to us, and you can see more of everyone here. Plus, and
So let's figure out what's the most important networking thing.
yeah, important.
Actually,
Most.
Number
we
one.
missed like the next step, which
Uh-oh.
is you have to follow up with all those people. So all the really good stuff we just told you doesn't work unless you follow up with those great contacts that you met.
Follow up.
Sure.
Yes.
Yes.
What is the follow up that we're supposed to be doing?
Depends on who they are. It could, if it's somebody that you're not going to necessarily do business with, but maybe you still send them an email. It's really nice to meet you. Looking forward to seeing you again. Here's my information. You can, connect with them on LinkedIn or whatever social media you're using. But if they never hear from you again, you are
Then it's-
probably unlikely to work together.
Understood. So maybe we have to do a show on follow up.
I think we do have to do a show on follow up. And there's all sorts of follow up. I mean, the one thing I've always said about Adam, is when you first started, you would reach out to people anyway. You would email them, you would call them, you'd wait a while, then you'd text them, you'd send them a courier pigeon. Like you were always about the follow-up. And
I've gotten business that way. Once again, it works. My biggest buyer right now, exactly that. He stopped responding to me for a while. We saw a couple properties, stopped responding as an investor for months. All I would do is say, hey, happy Memorial Day. Hope your family has like a great Labor Day, Merry Christmas, all those. That's it. Just a text and an email or a phone call, whatever it was. He never responded to any of them. And 3 months ago, I get a text message out of the blue that says, I'm sorry, I was busy, blah, 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 but I'm now looking to buy. We're under contract for over $1.25 million right now.
Wow. Good luck with that.
Marisol says, love these remixes. Great networking tips. Really helpful. Networking is everything. Thank you so much, Marisol. You make
Thank
us
you, Marisol.
great.
Very true. So let me just, because our time is coming to an end today, but I definitely think we need to do a follow-up with our guest Lauren today to talk about follow-up, because she is a wealth of knowledge and we've only just touched the surface. But I just want to do a shout out to everybody. You know, I had a really big birthday a little bit ago, and one of our goals, and it's still going, is we're looking to raise this year $50,000 for Habitat for Humanity.
Habitat for Humanity.
So so far our kickoff event at the Rockin', F It I'm 50 birthday party, we raised about $6,000. So I want to thank everybody so far for donating to that
I think
cause.
That's wonderful. I was like astounded, and I kept on getting the email saying this person has donated and this person, and I was like, wow, that was awesome.
It was fun, and I'm excited. But so again, networking. Introvert, extrovert. Lauren can do whatever. And remember, when you go to the women's event, it's okay to touch. As long as you're a woman. Do not touch at the bigger events.
We haven't been there. Habitat for Humanity too. See, I'm going to get you every month.
Yes,
every month.
I will.
Let them know that we're doing a fundraiser.
I will.
Everyone invite me. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And remember, if you visualize it, you can own it.
Yes, you can. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye,
Bye in Mexico.
Bye.
Have fun. Go swimming. Send us pictures.